The seat warmers.
Yeah, the seat warmers. All right, I started recording. Hello, everybody. So welcome to the Chessbait Drivecast, your one-stop shop for kind of controversial topics and kind of controversial opinions. Today, we're not going to be talking about controversial opinions, I hope. I mean, if y'all start a flame more in the comments because of this, I'm going to start laughing. But today, we have a passenger. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Johannes.
You guys...
That's the only introduction I need.
Yeah, let's be real here. Most of you guys are here
Yeah.
from the ACUB channel, and if you guys are watching this from like 3 years in the future, I don't know what y'all doing today. Anyways, yeah, most of you guys are probably from the MKW ACUB channel, and most of you already guys know who I am. Most of you guys already know who Johannes is. So let's just jump right into the topic. So today we're going to be talking about time zones. I'm going to be real here. We have a 5-hour difference in what's it called?
6 hour difference, actually.
Is it 6 hours? Jeez.
Yeah.
See, this is the problem.
Yeah, 6 hours.
It's like half of the time when Jacob is streaming, or ACUB is, whatever, ACUB is streaming, like you can't pop on because he always streams, I mean, not late for like my side, but he always streams so late for you, and you can never pop on to any of his streams.
Yeah. In the weekdays, it's like at midnight for me, and I have to, get some sleep.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Sorry, I haven't driven in months. I mean, the quarantine's kind of just been killing me.
Yeah, I have to. In the weekdays, it's like barely possible, if it even is possible. And like in the weekend, I have to go to sleep at like 3 a.m. to make the streams, and
Yeah.
it's like, it gets so freaking.
It just becomes such
I don't know.
like it's so annoying, and it's kind of sad that you can't participate as much.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Like if I'm
European times.
like by the time I'm uploading this, hopefully I've already figured out how to use Streamlabs. Hopefully I've already put my PC together. I'm able to start streaming, and if I do ever figure that out, I mean, I'll probably stream on the weekends a lot more often than ACUB does. So that way, you know, people like you can join a lot more often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing it in the morning is like so much better for us here. So
Yeah, I get you.
try doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a bunch of things that you wanted to talk about, just weird time zones in general.
Oh,
You
yeah,
wanna...
stupid time zones. It's not specifically like American to any other time zone. It's just the time zone in general. So the first one is China, which the Chinese like time zone is so dumb.
Like they...
It's only one time
So
zone for the whole of China.
Yeah, so just to add a little bit of context, what China likes to do, I just realized I should be driving a little bit faster so that way people behind me don't start blasting me for driving slow. Anyways, what people in China do usually is that they, for some reason, the Chinese government decided, even though they live in, I think, 4 different time zones, they just kind of smushed it together so everyone in China lives under one time zone, which is the one that Beijing is under. The only problem with that is that 3 time zones away, when you should be 3 hours behind, you actually end up being 3 hours ahead. So you end up waking up way later and working way later than you actually do.
Yeah. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
It's like
I've only recently learned about another one. It's the Australian one, which Australia is not the biggest country in the world, but they have 5 freaking time zones there.
Yeah, if everyone in
the time zones are not even accurate. Like on the left side of Australia, it's like 15 minutes before the one in the bottom left, and the one on the right is like at the same time as the one in the top left. It's very different. It's so freaking weird.
Yeah, if people in America think that Arizona not following the daylight savings time is annoying, they should really take a look at oh shit, no, I can't make it. Fuck.
Yeah, Australian and Chinese.
Yeah, they really got to take a look at just Australia. I'm pretty sure. Did you say they have quarter time zones?
They have half time zones in Australia.
Yeah, I know they have halves, which is really stupid. Also, I cannot...
Oh yeah, they have 1/4 time zone in like the bottom left or the bottom right, I think.
Wait, so that's real?
I'm pretty sure.
So they're telling me that's real?
Yeah, that's real.
Dude, that's genuinely dumb. I should have just taken the
Yeah,
right
they
one.
also have they have bottom right, bottom left, middle, and stuff like that. But the middle, it's so freaking weird. Because if you're living in the middle, it's not even that far from the sides. And if you stretch the sides, it would make so much more sense. But they just made a middle for no reason.
I just think the dumbest thing about the whole half time zones thing is that the whole point of time zones is to have there we go. The whole point of time zone is for people to be able to whatchamacallit, is for people to be able to not have like their clocks like a minute behind if they walk from like their house to the store.
Yeah, and have morning be morning and noon be noon and evening be evening, stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's kind of dumb that like if you're gonna make time zones, having it being like an hour apart, I get it. If everyone in the country wants to have the same time zone, it's dumb. But I mean, sure, China, do what you want, okay? Sure. But like Australia decides that if you go from this place to this place, you don't rewind the clock back 1 hour. You rewind it by only 30 minutes, which I think that would make even more confusion, because if you're living in every other country and you live in one of these half time zones, you're 30 minutes behind or 30 minutes ahead by accident. Like, it's just kind of confusing.
Yeah, it messes with your sleep cycle a little, because if you're at the left side of China instead of the right side of China, it's like waking up like in the middle of the night to get up.
Yeah.
Basically. So if it's so weird to adapt to it, because everything is so much earlier or later, it just makes no sense to have it that way.
I also find it super interesting that the the international dateline, the one that everybody draws on maps and globes. I'm pretty sure that follows. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that follows the I'm pretty sure that follows the the time zones, because there's a bunch of islands in Polynesia that actually follow. What is it? Like, I'm pretty sure they're like 26 hours ahead. No. What is it? They're 13 hours ahead compared to Hawaii. Not Hawaii. Other islands on the other side that would be like 12 hours behind. So in certain parts of the day, it's kind of funny to think that there's technically 3 days going on. There could be like 11 p.m. on one side of the world. It could be 2 in the morning for another side of the world, and it could be midnight of the next day in another part of the world. And it's all because of certain islands are closer to other countries, so that way it makes more sense to have those in that order. I don't know. I think it's just interesting how time just works differently for each part of the world.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, thinking about it, time zones are like a pretty new thing, I think, and I'm baffled that scientists at that time have come up with these ridiculous times that aren't even accurate at all. It's like so weird. Like, people in the 1800s and whatever were so, I don't know how to describe it. It's so weird.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm looking for...
I'm sorry, I got a little
sidetracked.
distracted.
I mean, personally, I'm looking for a restaurant that I can't even seem to find. Oh, never mind, I literally just found it. I'm supposed to be following Google Maps, but usually when I use Google Maps, it ends up giving away where I live. So I'm trying to go off of muscle memory. Or not muscle memory, but just memory of the map. I remember that there was a Burger King on the other side. I can't take the U-turn. I remember there's a Burger King right next to the restaurant, so that was easy to find. The traffic is dumb. Anyways, I had one last thing I wanted to say. Like, ever since the pandemic happened, like, time zones have just become more and more important, which is even more confusing. Because when I was first going to university, you know, everybody lives in one time zone. You know, since everybody's able to talk to each other on a moment's notice, everybody was always next to each other. But now that, fuck, where? Now that, whatchamacallit, now that now that COVID happened and everybody is stuck at home, everybody needs to, you know, stay at home, which means everybody's talking on Discord servers and online Zoom calls and such, which means everybody has to deal with living in different time zones. And I feel bad for everybody who lives on the other side of the world. Like, I remember half of the students that I take classes with, they have to not wake up, but they have to attend classes at like 1 or 2 in the morning just because none of the professors are willing to record their lectures, which, you know, in my opinion, is just really dumb. I don't know why they would do something like that.
Yeah. I don't really face that issue because we're in like a local area, but I can definitely see it.
I mean, like, if you're in, what's it called, primary or secondary, also known as middle high school, wait, am I thinking of it right? It doesn't matter. But, yeah, when you're in that kind of situation, it doesn't really matter all too much. It's just, you know, it's more frustrating when you have a school that has students from all over the world, and all of a sudden they all have to go back home, and now everybody has messed up sleep schedules because they all have to take classes at the same time, no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, I actually have arrived at my destination, so I think that's a surprisingly good place to stop. Thanks for being my first guest on the. I mean, I've had shorter drivecasts before. I mean, frankly, thanks for being my first ever guest on the Chessbait Drivecast. It was really fun to just rant about whatever the heck we want, as usual.
Yeah. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm so honored to be on the show. Even though it's not famous or anything, I really appreciate coming on the show and just talking.
I mean, personally, like, I'm glad that I can figure out a way to have other people on the show now. Hopefully the volume won't impact anything too much. Like, maybe I'm too loud and you're too quiet and such like that. But, you know, we'll figure stuff out along the way.
Yeah.
Anyways, everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Chessbait Drivecast. I actually